I'm Vic Myers. Welcome to The Resistance. I reckon it'd take maybe a week's worth of videos to cover all the stuff embedded in this one. So forgive me if I gloss over some of it and focus mostly on the most urgent piece that concerns Venezuela. I wrote up this video in the wee hours of Sunday morning. By the time I get around to recording it and editing and finally posting, we may have already invaded Venezuela. See, Trump is getting bad news daily. This stuff with Secretary of Defense Hegseth and his illegal attacks on fishing boats are causing our allies to stop sharing intelligence with us. The UN's asking questions, and Republicans in Congress are starting to admit that investigations are needed. I said the other day that Trump is a rabid animal cornered on the edge of a cliff, and it looks like he's about to fall off the edge. He declared on social media, and as far as we know, not through any official channels, that Venezuela is a no-fly zone now. But why? Why would he choose Venezuela? He's been claiming for weeks that his illegal extermination of fishermen in Venezuela were to stop fentanyl from flowing into America. But then he just pardoned the former president of Honduras, Juan Hernandez. Hernandez was convicted of trafficking hundreds of tons of cocaine into America. In my mind, this is evidence that drugs have absolutely nothing to do with what Trump is doing to Venezuela. So what is it? Let's go back to Honduras for a minute. Hernandez was only able to become president in Honduras because in 2009, the democratically elected government in Honduras was taking real steps to implement many reforms to the benefit of their people and to the detriment of big business interests, especially American big business. There was a military coup that was tepidly condemned by then Secretary of State Clinton, who instead used her position to push for new elections instead of returning the deposed president back to power. This opened the door for American corporations to tighten their grip on Honduras. When Trump pardoned Hernandez, he explicitly tied that decision to the current ongoing presidential election in Honduras. He's pushing for the Honduran people to elect the right-wing conservative candidate who will continue to be friendly to American big business over the left-leaning progressive candidate who wants to implement reforms that are similar to the president who was deposed in 2009. So how does this tie to Venezuela? As I said earlier, Trump has two motivations for attacking Venezuela. One is a wag-the-dog strategy of distracting the American people from his plethora of problems. And the other, well, it lies in the fact that Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserves on the entire planet. Oil reserves that are controlled by their government and coveted by American oil companies. Ironically, this year's Nobel Peace Prize winner is Venezuela's Maria Machado. The opposition to Venezuela's current president, who is seen by many nations as questionably elected, if not outright illegitimately elected. Yet Maduro's questionable election has not entered into the discussion of our hostilities towards Venezuela. Trump is about to launch an anti-America first war for himself and for American big oil companies. Republicans control Congress. Congress has the power to stop him from needlessly sending our military into harm's way for no good reason. If you have a Republican representing you in Congress, now is the time to call them about this. Thanks for listening. Good day.